The autumn fiscal statement could see the royal family forced to cut spending as the UK government grapples to control recent economic turmoil. Royal commentators have suggested, whatever the upcoming budget has in store, the public are unlikely to see the king criticise the government as the monarch is expected to remain politically neutral. Speculation surrounding cuts to the royal purse come after palace sources reported the king had plans to hold a less expensive coronation service in light of the cost of living crisis. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt is due to announce the autumn budget on November 17, having previously delayed the fiscal statement that had been set for October 31. Daily Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer reported, "I have been thinking about what happens to some of the royal family's favorite causes if government policy means that there isn't money available to support them in the same way as they thought there was going to be." Speaking to Royal Roundup's host Pandora Forsyth, he added, "That's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on, particularly the Chancellor's autumn statement, because there may be an impact on some of those causes that the royal family support." Despite potential spending cuts for the sovereign, the king is not likely to undermine his position as head of state by openly criticizing government economic policy. The royal family could be forced to cut spending amid the UK economic crisis. Image, Getty. The Chancellor will outline the new fiscal statement on November 17. Image, Getty. Discussing the King's COP27 reception at Buckingham Palace, Mr. Palmer said, "King Charles was doing it having consulted with the government, so he was reflecting UK government policy in general." It does raise interesting questions about the relationship between the royal family and the government of the day when policies change. Had Liz Truss stayed in power, had she rolled back British commitments, that would have placed the king in a really difficult position. He couldn't publicly criticize the government. He might have made a few points privately, but I don't think we will ever hear him criticize the government again unless it's an overheard conversation by accident. Read more. King Charles' reign won't be long as he prioritizes something else. King Charles hosted a reception at Buckingham Palace ahead of COP27. Image, Getty. The King's coronation will take place in May next year. Image, Getty. The King played host at a reception for over 200 leading environmental figures at Buckingham Palace on Friday, ahead of the COP27 summit in Egypt this week. There had been speculation the king may attend the UN climate conference, although palace sources confirmed, following discussions with then Prime Minister Liz Truss, the monarch would not travel to the event. The decision was subject to much controversy given the king attended COP26 in Glasgow and has a long-standing reputation as a champion for environmental causes. It has been suggested that the Buckingham Palace reception has allowed King Charles to remain somewhat involved with the COP27 event while ensuring government figures are center stage at the summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. Don't miss, Harry slammed for self-pity book title when he has millions. Report, Andrew in tears after Charles told him he'll never return to duty. Reveal, Angela Levin says King Charles wants stripped Sussexes of titles. Insight, there has been speculation that the coronation will be less extravagant in order to cut costs. Image, Getty. Trending news of potential spending cuts to the royal household comes as rumors have swirled that the king is planning a smaller-scale coronation in light of the current UK economic crisis. The coronation of the late Queen Elizabeth II was an extravagant event that drew attention from across the globe, although some royal commentators have suggested the king is not likely to follow in his mother's footsteps. A royal source told the Mirror King Charles was keen to organize a modern coronation ceremony, adding that the monarch was very aware of the financial hardship facing much of the population. It is expected that the coronation will still adhere to all traditional ceremonial elements, but costs will be reduced by slashing the guest list to just 2,000 people as opposed to a possible 8,000 attendees. Read next, PM gives UK extra bank holiday day to mark Charles' coronation. King Charles ditches formalities as he kisses Stella McCartney. Harry's memoir could be score settling as royal family nerves grow. Sunak joins King Charles for reception at Buckingham Palace. Prince Andrew left tearful after Charles ruled out royal return.